Today we're going to take a look at lines and angles. In geometry, we can show a line, like this example shows here, that shows a line that extends in both directions. A line can be named by points on the line. If you look at this example right here, we have point A and point B. From point A, the line extends to the left indefinitely, and from point B, the line extends to the right indefinitely. And if you recall from an earlier lesson, a line is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, you want to remember that? Okay. A line can also be named by a lowercase letter. For example, line A, okay, or line B. Right here we have an example of parallel lines. Parallel lines are lines that never intersect. They have exactly the same slope. The symbol for parallel, or is parallel to, is this. Two lines that are parallel. For example, this example here shows that line P is parallel to line Q. If you come up to the actual lines themselves, line P is parallel to line Q. They run side by side indefinitely, but they don't ever intersect. Okay, now let's take a look at some lines that do intersect. Intersecting lines are special for a couple of reasons. They're special because they form vertical angles. Okay? When two lines intersect to form right angles, the lines are called perpendicular. The symbol for perpendicular is this, an upside down T. Okay? Come over to this example right here. We have line L and line M. Line L is perpendicular to line M. Here you have a right angle, another right angle, a right angle, and another right angle. Every right angle is 90 degrees. So if you have 4 right angles, you have 360 degrees. All the way around is 360 degrees. Another important thing to remember. When you have special pairs of angles, or angles that are formed when a line called a transversal crosses 2 or more parallel lines. In this example right here. Okay, we have line AB and we have line CD. The transversal is the line that crosses them or intersects that creates special angle relationships. Angle A, angle B, angle C, and angle D, or excuse me, line A, line B, C, and D create angles here. We have the outside angles because they're outside of the transversal, and we have the inside angles here. Inside angles are marked by those lines, outside are marked by the X's. Okay? Back to our parallel lines, line AB and line CD that are have special angle relationships because of the transversal. Okay, let's take a look here. You already know that the vertical angles are equal in measure A and D. Okay, if you remember, let's look down at this figure right here. Angle A and D are vertical from each other, therefore they are equal. Angle B and C are also vertical, therefore they are equal. And you want to pay attention to this relationship here. Angle A is what kind of angle? If you look at it, it's more than 90 degrees, so it's an obtuse angle. Remember obtuse from an earlier lesson. Angle B, well, that's less than 90 degrees, so that's an acute angle. Angle A and angle D are vertical from one another, so guess what? Angle D is also obtuse. Angle B and C are also vertical, so angle C is also acute. So when you have two parallel lines that are cut with a transversal, you'll have an acute, an obtuse angle, angle 1, and an acute angle, angle 2. The vertical angles from those angles will also be across from 1 is an obtuse angle, across from 2 is an acute angle. They're going to have the same measure. Since they have the same measure, they are called corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are in the same position with respect to the transversal. They're on the same side of the transversal and either both above or below the parallel lines. Okay, so let's take a look at our angles right here. Angle A is what kind of angle? Well, it's an obtuse angle. The corresponding angle to angle A is angle E. Angle A and E are both obtuse. They're the same measure. We don't need to know now what the measure is. We just know that they're both the same. Angle C and angle G are also corresponding angles. They are both acute. Let's look at the other side of the transversal. Angle B and angle F are both corresponding angles. They are acute. Angle D and angle H are both corresponding angles. They are both obtuse. So therefore, they're equal. Let's talk for a minute about alternate exterior angles and alternate interior angles. You need to make sure you understand the vocabulary words. Alternate exterior angles. Exterior means outside, and alternate means on opposite sides. So let's take a look at the alternate exterior angles. An exterior angle is angle A, B, G, and H because they're on the outside of the transversal. Angle A is alternate exterior angle with our A and H are alternate exterior angles. Angle B and G are alternate exterior angles. B is acute, G is acute. A is obtuse, H is obtuse. Alternate interior angles are angle C and F, angle D and E. Okay, alternate interior angles are on the inside of the parallel lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. If you know the measure of one angle, you can find the measure of others because you understand that these angles have special relationships. Let's take a look at this example. If the measure of angle 1 is 110, what is the measure of angle 6? Come over here to your diagram. Find angle 1. Angle 1 is 110 degrees. Okay, we know that. The measure of angle 6 is what? It's what we're looking for. Let's take a look at some angle relationships that we have. Identify an angle that is related to both the known and unknown angles. What angle is related to angle 1? Well, angle 1 is 110, so what's the vertical angle to angle 1? Well, that's angle 4. That's also 110, okay? Angle 1 and angle 2 are on a straight line, so therefore their sum has to be 180 degrees. So 110 plus what is 180 degrees? Well, 110 plus 70 is 180 degrees. So the vertical angle to angle 2 is angle 3, so guess what? That's 70 degrees too. Now let's take a look at some corresponding angles. Okay, so we've identified that angle 2 and 3 were vertical. Okay, now we're going to take a look at some angles that are corresponding. Well, what angle corresponds to angle 1? Angle 5 corresponds to angle 1, so therefore that's 110 as well. What angle corresponds with angle 3? Angle 7 corresponds with angle 3, so therefore that's 70 degrees as well. Okay, back to our original problem, we're trying to find the measure of angle 6. Okay, well, we've got all kind of numbers in there, so what is 60? Let's clean that up a little bit. Okay, we know that angle 5 was 110, because angle 1 was 110, and they were corresponding. Angle 2 was 70. So if angle 5 plus angle 6 are 180, because they're on a straight line, angle 6 is also equal to 70. Whenever you have two parallel lines cut with a transversal, remember that all the obtuse angles will be equal and the acute angles will be equal. So you're only going to have one measure that is obtuse and one measure that is acute. That's a good way to remember. Now we're going to practice some problems using what we just learned about angle relationships. Question number 1 is through 10 refers to the figure shown at the right. Okay, we've got line P and line M, which are parallel lines, and then we've got a transversal, so we know we have angle relationships. So let's look at the first question. Name the interior angles. The angles on the inside of the transversal are angle 2, 6, 3, and 7. 2, 6, 3, and 7. Now look at question 2. Name the interior angle on the same side of the transversal as 6. Okay? Which one would that be? Take a minute and look at that question. Name the interior angle on the same side of the transversal as 6. The answer would be angle 3. Number 3, name the exterior angles. Take a minute, look at that figure. What are your exterior angles? Well, we've already named the interior angles, so that's going to be pretty simple. Angle 1, angle 5, angle 4, and angle 8. Question 4, name the exterior angle on the same side of the transversal as 4. The exterior angle on the same side of the transversal is 4. There's 4. Same side would be angle 1. Okay, now we need to remember what we learned about corresponding for questions 5, 6, 7, and 8. Which angle corresponds to angle 1? Okay, which angle is equal to angle 1 on the same side as angle 1? Okay, remember what I told you. All the obtuse angles will be equal, and all the acute angles will be equal. What kind of angle is angle 1? Angle 1 is obtuse. So corresponding to angle 1 is angle 3. Which angle corresponds to angle 7? Okay, which angle corresponds to angle 7? Clean that up a little bit there. Angle 7 is acute. What's the corresponding acute angle to angle 7? That would be angle 5. Okay. Question 7. Which angle corresponds to angle 8? Angle 8 is obtuse. Corresponding with angle 8 is angle 6. Number 8. Which angle corresponds to angle 2? Come up here to angle 2. Angle 2 corresponds with angle 4. Question number 9. Which angle is an alternate interior angle with angle 2? Okay, remember alternate means alternating sides, interior means on the inside. So here's angle 2 on the alternating side, and on the inside is angle 7. Question 10. Which angle is alternate exterior with angle 5? Okay, angle 5 is on the outside, on alternating sides is angle 4. On the GED test, they're going to ask you to take your knowledge of geometry and angle relationship to answer word problems. The word problems often refer to diagrams. Okay, so first, before you even look at the question, let's take a look at the diagram. We're going to answer questions 11 and 12 based on this diagram. Okay, I see a street here, Hanson Street, and I see Sinclair Drive, and those two streets together are forming what kind of lines? Parallel lines. Parallel lines. Okay. Then I see Park Avenue, which comes through the two streets, and that is a transversal. Okay, so what happens when we have a transversal? We create angle relationships. So if you see all these intersections or angles, they're going to have relationships with one another. Okay? So thinking about the relationships we talked about earlier, let's answer question 11. 11 reads, Hanson Street runs parallel to Sinclair Drive. Which statement is true? Is statement 1 true? The measure of angle 1 is equal to angle 7. You notice that we don't even know what any of these measures are, but does that matter right now? No, because we understand that they have relationship. Okay, angle 1 and angle 7, they're not equal to each other. Angle 1 is obtuse, and angle 7, is acute, so it's not in question 1. Question 2 says, or statement 2 says, measure of angle 2 plus measure of angle 6 is 90 degrees. That's your key. A 90-degree angle would look like this. Do you see any 90-degree angles in that diagram? Nope. Therefore, answer 2 is incorrect. Answer 3 says 5 is complementary to angle 6. Complementary means what? It means that they are equal to 90 degrees. Again, do you see any 90-degree angles in there? Nope, so that can't be question statement 3. 4 says angle 4 is adjacent to angle 6. Remember what adjacent means. Adjacent means they share a side, it's a ray, and they share a common vertex. Let's look at angle 4 and angle 6. Nope, they are not adjacent. Adjacent to angle 4 would be angle 2 or angle 3, but not 6. So that means that it has to be number 5. Let's make sure. Angle 1 plus angle 7 is 180 degrees. Yes. Angle 1 is obtuse. Angle 7 is acute. They are supplementary, therefore the answer is 5. Question number 12. The measure of angle 2 is 60 degrees. What other angles must also equal 60 degrees? Okay, go back up to our diagram and take a look. Okay, we know that angle 2 is equal to 60 degrees. So let's go ahead and write that in there. That'll give us a nice visual. Angle 2 is equal to 60 degrees. Okay, the vertical angle to angle 2 is equal to 60 degrees. So that is angle 3. What angle corresponds with angle 3? Angle 7. So that is equal to 60 degrees. What angle is vertical to angle 7? Angle 6. There are your 60-degree angles. Okay, so we have angle 2, angle 3, angle 7, and angle 6 are equal to 60 degrees. So let's check our choices down here and see which one it is. We have angle number 1, only angle 3, nope. Number 2, angle 3, 6, and 7. Yes, that's true. Let's check the other ones just in case. 3, 5, and 8. Nope. 4, 6, and 8. Nope. And only 7. Nope. Correct answer is 2. Okay. Question number 13. We're looking at, again, 2 parallel lines, A and B. We have our transversal. So we have relationships here. Line A is parallel to line B. Which of the following statements is true? Again, remember with parallel lines, you're looking for something to equal 180 degrees. We're dealing with straight lines. Number 1, the measure of 2 and the measure of angle 5 is 180 degrees. Let's take a look at angle 2. What kind of angle is angle 2? Obtuse. Let's take a look at angle 5. What kind of angle is angle 5? Angle 5 is acute. So the obtuse plus the acute angle would be 180 degrees. Let's check that for now. But let's go ahead and take a look at all the choices. Number 2, measure of angle 1 is complementary to angle 2. Complementary means you have 90-degree angles. There are no 90-degree angles in the figure, so it is not 2. Question, statement 3, 6 is supplementary to 7. 6 is vertical to 7. They're equal, but they're not supplementary. Number 4, 2 and 6 are vertical angles. 2 is obtuse, and 6 is obtuse. They're not vertical, they are corresponding angles. It's not 4. Number 5, 1 and 6 are corresponding angles. 1 and 6, nope, they're not corresponding angles. So the correct choice is indeed 1. Okay. Last question. Which of the following are not supplementary angles? Pay attention anytime you see a word underlined on the GED test. Pay attention to it. Which are not supplementary angles? Supplementary, two angles that equal 180 degrees. Okay? Back up to our diagram. We're looking for angles that are not supplementary. First choice, 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are supplementary because they create a straight line. So it's not 1. 1 and 3. 1 and 3, well, 1 and 3 also create a straight line, so they are supplementary. So it is not 2. 3 and 7. Angle 3 is obtuse, and so is angle 7. So they are not supplementary. They are actually corresponding angles. So let's check that for now. But let's go ahead and go through the other choices. Angle 3 and angle 8. Angle 3 is obtuse and angle 8 is acute. So therefore they are supplementary. So it's not 4. And finally, number 5, angle 4 and angle 6 are both. Angle 4 is acute and angle 6 is obtuse. So yes, they are supplementary. So the correct answer was 3. It's always a good idea to check all your answers before you choose your final answer.